Max bet time, and what a great time to be alive. We've got the Moir Stakes down in Melbourne we're going to check out. Then we're going to head over to Randwick for the Tramway, Randwick Race 9, and have a look at them. I've had a winning week, had a weekend off last week. I'm back, I'm fresh, I'm winning one for the last couple of weeks, and I'm ready to rip right into these bookies as well. And what a better way to kick off the Max Bet show than the Moir Stakes, 1,000 metres at the Valley. I love these 1,000 metres at the races at the Valley because you usually find the on-pace horses, but there's just so much pace in this race. I haven't seen a race for a long time with so much speed on paper. So I found one out of the speed battle here a bit, which will sit off in Neonce. I think we'll get in the running line. What I want to do in this race, first off, is go and have a look at a horse that I don't like and talk about Cam, the cruising acceleration metric in this race, because I want to explain what exactly how Cam works. Here you can see Cam Alabama last from Arabian Summer and Midwest coming in there at third rated as well. Sorry, the last from the summer from the Midwest. So let's go and have a look at Barracheel, because this is the horse that I don't like in the race. I've got Barracheel as a lay. So 1-7 from 11. Had all the favours last start, getting up the fence there. And winning at the Valley over 1,000. But this is what I'm talking about. Hasn't won off fast early tempo. So let me talk to you about Cam. Let's go and have a look at Cam for this race. So here we go here. So let's talk Barracheel. Cam total 95. But cruising acceleration metric of, what do we got the cruising acceleration metric for Barracheel? So if we go into the start, you can see Barracheel's got a fair bit of early pace here at 104. So that's the rating that I expect Barracheel to do. Obviously, this is fast. Golden Boom 108. So what this cruising number is telling us is how fast the race is going to be run. So it's not how fast the horse is. It's not always how fast the horse is. So if this was a slowly run race, the leader here, Golden Boom, for example, might be on 88, still cruising probably 1. But I predict it's going to be slower run. I'm watching the Broncos here tallying up the Storm. Storm had just gone in 20-8. I'm recording this on a Thursday night. So Golden Boom, 108. Barracheel 104. But let's have a look at the acceleration. So you can see Barracheel drops right down here to 86 off the acceleration, where you've got horses like Oak Hill 107, Alabama Lass 103. And Alabama as well, 104. So Alabama's got a 104 and a 103, and the Cam is just an average of those two. So Cam's 104, whereas Barracheel drops right back down to 95, which is coming off a 104 cruising into an 86 acceleration. So let's go into the old screen and have a look at why Barracheel is so low compared to Alabama. So let's have a look at the old screen I used to do here. That's Randwick. Let's have a look at Moonee Valley Race 9. I know I've got them both on Randwick. Let's get over to Moonee Ponds Race 9 and have a look at Barra. So this is what I'm talking about here. So let's have a look at the races that Barracheel's contested. So one last start at the Valley here, right? Below average early tempo. I'll get to the actual numbers in a sec. Well, I'll go to the numbers now. Below average early tempo at what is the 2,600? This is the early rating, 80. Remember, we're predicting Barracheel, because of that hot early tempo, is going to run a 104 early. Okay, let's see these two failures, a fast and a good. Look at all these wins. Picket fence, 1-1-1. Average, slow, below average. When the pressure's on, fast and good. Barracheel has failed 6th and 3rd. Going back here, average, moderate, average, very slow 1, super slow 1, moderate 1. So what this is telling me is these two races are really the key to Barracheel's success for Cam. They are 1,200 metre races, but for Cam. Cam isn't the be-all and end-all of everything. It's just another form factor. So let's go in and have a look at the acceleration for Barracheel off this. So we've done a 114 and a 99. Remembering that we're predicting Barracheel to go 104 early. Well, when Barracheel does roughly that 104, 79, 93, the computer's predicted about 85. So that's how we're getting to that. Whereas you can see Barracheel's done a 124 last 600. There's a bit of this. This is the last 200 as well. There's a bit of that thrown in, but predominantly it's the last 600 and last 400's thrown in there as well. But let's just have a look at the last 600 because that's predominantly for the longer races. Shorter races might be a bit more of the 400. But let's just have a look at these, for example. So what we can see here is, yes, Barracheel's got a good sprint, 124, but that was done off a very slow early tempo, so it makes a big difference. And you can see as well that high rating at Moonee Valley over 1,200 metres, that 103, was done of a slow early tempo there. So the big question is, can Barracheel produce the rating needed off a good and fast tempo, which undoubtedly this race is going to be. So that's why Barracheel's marked down on Cam. Let's have a look at Alabama Lass here because she's an interesting one as well. New Zealand. We've got no ratings for New Zealand. Then we go really high rating there. But what worries me a little bit is it's a Flemington 1,100 metre race going to a Moonee Valley 1,000 metre race. So I'm not saying this horse can't win by any stretch. It's an amazing win. And the numbers, have a look at these numbers as well. So we saw Barracheel, we predicted 104. Let's go and have a look what we're predicting Alabama to run. Early. Alabama early. So let's get back up to Cam and have a look. Alabama, we've got a 103. So we've really only got this one run to work off. Where Alabama did a 99 here, we're saying there's going to be more pressure. Led on a 99, which is good. Can be on pace again off a 103. Certainly, I think we'll be in the first four. But have a look at this last 600 compared to Barracheel. So Barracheel was averaging around that 85. Alabama's gone 99 and produced a last 600 of 103. So a lot stronger there. Was down the straight though. So I'm always a bit wary of horses, as I just mentioned, going from the straight race to the especially Moonee Valley. But we're talking Cam, we're talking cruising, 104. Now we're talking acceleration, 103. So you can see the difference there, and you can see what Cam's trying to do. Have a look at the bottom one there, Escher, 98. But hasn't done this. Let's just go and have a look at Escher. This is a really interesting race for Cam, and it's going to be very interesting on Saturday to see how this plays out. Now, we don't know how Escher is going to handle the pressure. Is Escher going to handle this early pressure? Because Escher's last win at the Valley over 1,000 metres was off a very slow tempo, which was 67. 85, settled second, now went to 67, settled first. Now, if Escher's going to lead this race, Escher's going to have to do 106. Will Escher be able to handle that? What I'm looking for here is our predicted cruising for Escher of 98. So 98 we're going to here. What's Escher going to do? Off 85 first start, did 92, last 600. The computers predicted Escher's going to early do 98. So going to go a lot faster, 13 rating points faster, and is going to come home in. I love this, Cam. If I can get this right, it's going to blow the bookies apart. I can tell you that. I haven't got it quite right. I've got it nearly right. I haven't got it quite right. There's a few things I've got to fix with it and get the algorithm a bit better for the predictions. But so we've got 80. So we got a 98 into 80, and here we had an 85 into a 92. So That is what is coming out. So the prediction is 80 late, which is obviously not going to be good enough for Cam to win this race. But what Cam doesn't know, and what nobody knows, unless you got a crystal ball, is will Escher handle this early pressure? What worries me as well with Escher is barrier 4. And if we go and have a look at the cruising metric here, we've got 98. So barrier 4, 98. We've got all these horses ahead of it. Rothfire, Midwest, Golden Boom, even Barracheel ahead, Alabama Lass, all ahead of Escher. So from barrier 4, could get either he's going to go too hard and be vulnerable, or he's going to be buried on the fence and going to need a lot of luck to get out. But you've got this thing going for you down here. It's called weight. 50 kilos against all these 56, 58. So isn't form a beautiful thing? The pieces of the puzzle that we can put together to try and work out what's going to happen here is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Everyone's got an opinion. Where I land on all of this is down the bottom here. So let's go and have a look where I land, and let's have a look through the market or the bullet prices, because that's really at the end of the day determines what I'm backing to a certain degree. So Rothfire $14 in the mix would need to find some form. Midwest $126. No hope, barrier 2, too much pressure, just won't be able to handle it. Payline 61 against 51. Golden Boom, another horse that too much early pressure, even though rank 1 cruising, which you'd think would be a big, big plus at the Valley. Footy update 24-14. Broncos, you would have already known who's won. And the Pies are getting the money as well. It's all happening here. Where was I? Cumin, 150s, can't win. Barracheel, $13, $6. If I was bookmaking, I would make it my worst way. Sursway got none. Oak Hill, $41. Disappointing last start. Will get a long way back from 11. Probably get too far back. But interestingly enough, Oak Hill started favourite over Barracheel last start. Thought should have got to the outside fence and not outside fence, sorry, middle of the track and let down rather than looking for runs up the inside. But I couldn't really be on either of those horses out of that race. Arabian Summer's a horse that I thought was a decent price. Has drawn barrier 1 though, and is going to need a little bit of luck. The other overlay in the race for me is Skybird. Big win first up last time down the straight. Has got the acceleration. He's going to get the race pressure, fast pressure here. Has got the acceleration to and the C class speed weight rating as well here to really figure in this finish. I think is definitely a chance, and horse that I definitely could be on and save on is the Bird. Now, Alabama Lass we spoke of. Going into a harder race as well. I'm going to get to this. Well, I'll get to it right now. So Neon's the horse that I'm backing. Has done it at this level, not this class level as in a Group 1. Neon's has won a Group 3, but at my race strength level. So this isn't the strongest Group 1 you'll ever see, this Moir Stakes. So what I'm trying to say is Neon's has beaten this grade of horse before in 1-7 from 11. Alabama Lass hasn't. Escher hasn't. So these horses are going up in these other horses. Alabama Lass and Escher are going up in race pressure, and they're going up in grade. Negatives for me for those two, and that's why I've got Neon's as favourite here in this race. Looks good odds to me, and I don't mind the barrier. I'd rather be on barriers drawn off over 1,000 metres at the Valley and say barrier 3 or 4 you're going to be buried. If you're buried, you're going to need too much luck, whereas you can get off that camber and slingshot and come down the middle of the track. Geordie Childs is going to let rip down the centre of the track. I've pretty much covered this race. To sum it all up, it's a really interesting race. I love 1,000-metre race. I'm really got into 1,000-metre race. I might talk about the 1,000 metres a bit on the grind, as well as first up horses on Monday, and delve into what I think we should be looking for. Let's get through Saturday first before we start talking about grinding away on Monday. There's a lot of water under the bridge. Righto, that's it for me. I'm going to for this race, Neons and the bird. The bird's not a bet. I just could get too far back. 1,000 meters. I don't really like backing back marks over 1,000 meters, but if it gets out to double figure odds, I probably won't be able to help myself but throw something on the Skybird. Righto, let's head over to Randwick, where it's a great day's racing over there at Randwick as well. You got Lady Shenandoah, who I'm against in an earlier race. You got Chio Wolf. But the race that I picked out to have a look at is the Tramway, because that's the one that I am betting in. As you can see there, I think there's 3 hopes in this race. Private Eye from Pericles, which are both bets, and also Swift Falcon, who's firmed up. Let's just have a quick look at the market. So this is Thursday night at what's the time? 9:45. I'm recording this. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the market. I'm just checking I got the sound plugged in because I'm fucking hopeless. I leave it out sometimes and get halfway through and have to do it again. Oh, Private Eye. So have a look at this. This is what I don't like about Private Eye, but I do think money will come. Tab 240, 50, 60, 80. I'm not going to go through them all, but there's plenty of flux there. There hasn't been $1 for Private Eye. I do think probably went up a bit too short. I've got Private Eye $3, so I'd like to see a little bit of money come for Private Eye. What's happened over the last hour? There's been a bit of money for Swift Falcon 550. You can see Ladbrokes are into 460 from $6. So obviously a bit of smart money there. 6 into 5 for Swift Falcon, who could improve. I've got third pick. Broncos are in 24-14. You beauty. I'm loving the body language on the Broncos. I've bet up on them for the comp, and I'm going to have another crack, I think. Going to have another crack. They're going to run 4th, and they're going to play the Raiders. And I'm going to have a crack. I'm a big body language man coming into September, and I love the way they're looking. Well, Pericles is firmed as well, actually, at 8:30 tonight. 9.50. When I did the Saturday set, was 9.50 into $8 now. You see Boombet leading the way, 860, Sportsbet 850, but there has been money, which is a good sign. First run for Bjorn Baker. Let's get into the form and have a look why I like these horses. Have a look at all the green here. So let's have a look at the race analysis screen on the King Zone. Race pressure. Average race pressure, I think Private Eye, who won the PB Lawrence last start at Caulfield, which we're on, went forward for Nash out of a wide barrier. I think the scenario is pretty similar here. Pericles as well can go forward, drawn wide, will go forward for Joshy Parr. I think these 2 horses get across pretty well, and that's one of the reasons why I'm keen on this race. You can see they're both in the class speed weight rating as well. They're both overlays. I've got them priced $3 and $7. Cam, we've got Private Eye third. Osipenko, surprisingly, is leading the Cam ratings there as well. Form factors, we'll get to them. Race strength is a big one here in Group 1s. Pericles, coming out of the Donny, ran 5th in the Donny. Private Eye is always racing in high-class races as well. And these other horses, Linebacker and Swift Falcon, yes, strong races around broadsiding. Yes, there's good form lines around, but, do have to do it on the day and lift to this level. There's the class speed weight ratings. You can see they're all pretty bunched there as we go down. You can see Swift Falcon on 95. Private Eye's leading the way, 98. With Osipenko does well there too, 97. They're all pretty bunched there. Linebacker on 94, so we'll have to go to a lift, go to another level. But I'm going to go and have a look at Linebacker. I'll do that now. Because it's a really interesting runner for me, Linebacker, and I've got Linebacker as a lay. Let's have a look. Not priced $9. Market is $5.50. It has been a bit of money. Goes up in weight. Tricky map. Only won when first or second, so has drawn out in barrier 16. This horse, I'll say it again, only has won when sat first or second. Trialled well, upside factor, unsuitable tempo last start, where it got too far back in the Donny. I'm not sure what they were doing in the Donny because had no weight. And took a sit, which didn't work out at all. But let's just have a look at Linebacker. Now, this is where you can pick up some patterns in horses' form. What I don't particularly like about Linebacker is that, and that's one peak rating out of all the starts. Linebacker's had 9 starts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One peak rating of 99.6, call it 100. If you take that out, you're back to 90. Now, let's have a look where Linebacker sat in the run here. Settle position. Second, won the race. First, won the race. And these two at the start as well. So first, sorry, I said won the race, but actually ran second. And this peak performance here, I think it was the Guineas, over 1,600 at Randwick, off a good early tempo and won. So I don't like it when horses, and you saw it with the 2-year-old Storm Boy when he went up to the Magic Millions, brained him, rated 100 or in the high 90s, and never produced it again. So we will see what they do on Linebacker. Drawn out in 16. We've seen when Linebacker hasn't led. Let's just have a look when Linebacker hasn't led, which, where's the settled there? Bang, last start, Donny failed. Here, 8th. Ran 6th. Here, South 8th, I think, ran 6th. So Linebacker must go forward, and Linebacker can go forward. I'd actually lead on Linebacker if I was the connections of Linebacker in this race. I'd just go and just go and just go. And if we have a look here, Linebacker can lead because Linebacker here led or sat second off a good tempo and went hard. Just trying to find the rating there. So went 105, 106, call it, and settled second. But this is the horse's individual rating. Went 106 and settled second. So Linebacker can lead this race. Let's just have a quick look at what Private Eye did when he led at Caulfield and won. The Private. Now, Private, have a look at that, 48, bang. 48 and led. Now, Linebacker did 105 and settled second. That's the first time. But Private Eye has led over 101 as well. So Private Eye will be going forward. Linebacker, the reason I don't like Linebacker is, one, I don't know if they're going to go forward. 2, they're drawn barrier 16. If it goes back, it can't win. If it goes forward and leads, so I've got a predicted settling 5th here. So I've got Private Eye leading, but Linebacker can lead. But if Linebacker does lead, I think Linebacker will go too hard in this class with this weight and tire. So where does it leave Linebacker? Goes back, it gets beat. Goes forward, has to go forward, but leads, I don't really want to be on it. Got horses drawn inside. The other two that I want to be on, Private Eye and Pericles, are both going to go forward. Drawn 12, 14. Linebacker outside's drawn 16. So he's going to try and have to get in 1-1, which is quite difficult. It's a really tricky ride for Zach Lloyd here. Linebacker is a very talented horse. Just don't know if this is Linebacker's race, but we will see. Let's go through the field and have a look at the bullet prices because there's a lot I can pen in this race, and that's why I think it's a betting race. I've actually got Linebacker a lay, but it's more about the price. I think if Linebacker went to the front and stacked them up and didn't go too hard, is a chance. But anything under that $7 mark, I'd be prepared to take Linebacker on. Militarized hasn't won for 2 years. Poor last start. Has got the figures though, but just don't want to be on Militarized, especially anything under $21. Port Lockroy, I reckon it will need the run. Price $23, 18, not too far away, but never won first up. Could have it longer. Only one trial, not racing. I don't think we'll be wound up for this race over 1,400. Will he do it? They put up pretty short. Let's go and have a look at Willie's flux here. 16. Was that yesterday? I think they put up shorter. That might have been in the pre-post markets when I looked. But Willie's $13. Can't see anyone being on the old Willie. He's set for bigger things. Look at those negative factors there. Negative gear change, low cam, needs longer, low strength rating, harder race, tricky map. Anything under 20s would be happy and drawn wide, going to get back. Happy to take Willie on, will improve. Private eye, let's talk about the private. So I would normally be against a horse that had all the favours like it did last time, but I can see the same scenario, and maybe not to that degree, panning out again. Second up's no issue. Looks pretty good value, getting out to $3.60 now for me. Ran good time, came home in good figures. Loves the 1400. Classy horse. Just ticks a lot of boxes there for me. Really consistent at this level as well. So definitely a horse I'm not going to go crazy on, but definitely a horse that I am going to back. Kovalika just needs longer. Don't think can win first up. Pericles, really interesting horse. Gone to Bjorn Baker, who can definitely improve the horse. Fifth in the Donny was a great run after sitting on pace. Second in a recent trial. Didn't love the trial, but it was sort of, it was run second still. It was on a heavy track as well. Classy horse, as I mentioned, fourth in the Donny. Guy over to Baker, easier race coming back from the Donny. Gets Josh Parr on, who's riding well. Should be able to cross from that wide alley and take up a position. I think anything $8 plus. I reckon you'll get $9 about Pericles. Drift back out $9, even $10 on the fair. I reckon it's a good price. I think Bjorn can improve the horse. I haven't heard many people tipping Pericles either, or even mentioning Pericles. So for me, those are the two. They're going to be on pace. They're going to be in the right spot. The same, the same as last week when I wanted to be on Treasure of the Moment and also Another Will down there in the Memsies. They're going to be stalking, and I think the same thing with these two on paces. They're going to be in the same spot. I like backing horses where I think is the right spot, and are going to be in that same spot. And I think these two are the two in this race. Coleman, been disappointing, just not going good enough. Alma Burr, no. Osipenko, got it priced 80s, needs longer again. A lot of these horses I don't think can win are in the race at all. Territory Express probably not good enough, gets a long way back. Waterford got priced $31. Harder race, low strength, gets a weight drop and goes pretty well fresh. Place chance, but winning chance, probably not. With Your Blessing, which I've heard a few people tipping, I'm a query with Your Blessing over 1400. We'll go forward, but we'll have to go faster, I think, and see dropping out. This is the third pick. This is the horse that I think can possibly go to a new level. The horse that I think is the knockout horse against my two. Just got a rank 1 acceleration there. The trials have been good as well. Two very good trials. Got upside factor. I think he's more of a 1400 meter to 1600 meter horse than a 2000 meter horse, which we saw sit handy over. Was it over 2000 meters? Swift Falcon. Let's just go back in here and have a look at Swift Falcon, because his ratings are quite interesting as well. We saw Linebacker with one, I think it was a 99 from which I showed you before. Now we've got Swift Falcon, a 98, a 97, and a 96. So a little bit more substance to the form. Let's have a look when Swift Falcon was gifted the race but didn't win. Yeah, that's it. Last start, 2,000 meters off a very slow tempo, sitting second. You would think in a pretty easy race. What was that behind? I think it was behind. Let me just have a look. I can't remember the name. The name's gone out of my head. It was a thing that went to New Zealand and then come back here. Uh, let's have a look. Was it Shangri-La? I didn't think it was that. I was thinking of the Evaporate race. Righto, in the Frank Packer Plate, he sat second behind Shangri-La Spring and couldn't run him down. So to me, that suggests that the Swifty is not a 2,000 meter horse if he couldn't even run that field down over 2,000 meters. So I think goes well fresh, and I think goes well over 1,400. So this is the run which rated 96. This is the run we're sort of looking at as and you can see off the which I'm going to introduce this rating at some point because this is a beauty. This one, it's not in the King Zone. It's not in the King Zone display. It is in a lot of the the pricing algorithms and that sort of thing. But you can see here the 17.5 back, which is 17.5. What that means is this run is the most relevant run to today's race, and that rating is 96. Sim score, I call it a sim score, similar score. Righto. So Swift Falcon, what I'm trying to say, I think can improve. It is the danger to my two official bets. The bottom two got in price 50s and 40s. They're both going to get, a lot of these roughies are just going to get a long way back or aren't suited at the distance or going up in race strength a lot. I don't think there's a lot of depth to this race. And that's why I picked these two horses, which I'm going to be on. So that's about it. There's nothing jumping out at me that's saying truckload, 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 but there are a lot of bets there. They're all solid bets. So let's grind our profit out on Saturday, put our head down and stay in the game and stay in the zone because we've got to stay in the game because there's plenty of Group 1 glory races coming up and we might find a bit of gold there. And we've got to get our bank ready because we're going to bet up in that Melbourne Cup. And check out the video if you haven't checked it out. Let's win Saturday. Let's win Sunday. I'll see you on Monday for the grind. Have a great day on Saturday on the punt.
Think, is this a bet you really want to place? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.